If one of the smartest men in the world tells you that you're going about building your business wrong, well, maybe it's worth listening. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. I really appreciate it. Now, a couple of new people have come on and supported us on Patreon over the last week. Just want to say a big thank you. Really appreciate that. I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Recently, Tesla CEO Elon Musk participated in a kind of a discussion as part of an interview with the Financial Times Future of the Car Summit. Now, Elon's been criticized by quite a few people saying that he should have just kept his mouth shut. Not sure why they say that. I think they just think Elon should be quiet, and maybe it's a bit of jealousy about him being a billionaire. I don't know. But some people are saying that. Whether or not you like him or whether or not you agree with that, personally, I don't agree that he should shut up. I think that his advice is very valuable. Maybe it's not to you, could be to someone else. I think one of the most valuable parts of advice we can hear from Elon Musk is that succeeding in business is extremely difficult. And, if you fail, just keep on trying. But you can't keep on hitting your head against the wall. If you keep on trying, keep on doing the same things, you're going to get the same results, right? So, Musk says it took plenty of tough times to get to the point where Tesla is at the present, where we know today Tesla make a profit from electric cars. Not only do they make a profit, they make a historically large profit. It's crazy how much money they make right now. And the fact is, Tesla is doing a few things very differently to legacy auto. One, they don't have any brick and mortar stores, right? They don't have any true dealerships. That's huge. Dealerships probably take an additional 5% of profit out of the bottom line. That's a huge figure, right? One. Number two, Tesla focused on vertical integration. They've been criticized for that. They still are. They're still being criticized by so-called pundits that vertical integration wasn't the right way to grow. Well, yeah, that's just stupid, because what happened last year? General Motors, Ford, Volkswagen, pretty much everyone was only able to deliver a significantly smaller number of vehicles because they didn't do any vertical integration. Okay, number three, what else do they do differently to others? They innovate. They spend more money on R&D than any other company on the earth. What else do they do differently? They try to make their factories as efficient as possible, and that's clearly working. Don't think it is? Well, Herbert Diess admitted the fact that Tesla is making their cars in about 10 hours, and it's taking Volkswagen 30 hours. So for those of you out there, I know it's probably not you watching this channel, but for those of you out there, if you are one of them, please shut up. Please, just stop saying this whole idea. Legacy Auto have figured it out. They know what they're doing. They've done it for centuries. This is what I'm reading. It's nauseating, and it's wrong. If it were true, Herbert Diess, the CEO of basically the world's largest car company, or second largest, whatever you want to call them, would not be saying Tesla is much more efficient than Volkswagen. Would he? He said it. Not Elon. He said it. So clearly, Tesla are doing some things, and a number of others, that's just a small snapshot, better than other car makers. So yes, I think it's worth listening to what Elon has to say. Even if you struggle with your ego problem and you don't want to listen to others' advice, it's still worth it. Recently, Musk actually warned Rivian that it was too early for the EV maker to open a second US factory. He said, "I recommend they get their first plant working. It's insanely difficult to reach volume production at affordable unit cost." Here, the key is affordable unit cost. And that's what Tesla's constantly focusing on. One of the things I remember Elon saying in one of the videos where he took someone on a tour of the factory in Fremont, California, was that the Fremont, California factory is not efficient. He was saying that the factory uses too much space for the number of vehicles it produces. And one of the key metrics of making money, right, is to be able to use as little space as possible, or to be able to use as much space as possible within the area you have efficiently, right? That's what he says is extremely important. And that's what Tesla's gone and done. They've said, okay, we screwed up. here in Fremont in this area. We didn't do that right. We didn't do this right. We've changed this now. We've fixed that now. But we can do this even better. We can make this better at Shanghai. And then from Shanghai, they've gone, okay, we've learned this, we've learned that, we've learned this. We can do this better at Texas and at Germany. They're going to keep on doing that. Keep on doing that. You know, one of the things that's interesting is one of the very first videos I watched from Sandy Munro is where he said when he was working at Ford, he spent the weekend improving the efficiency of the production line significantly out of his own time. He just did it. He was like, this is crazy. We're wasting, I don't know what it was, millions of dollars by having an inefficient production line. He changed a few small things over the weekend. Ford managers came back and they nearly fired him. They said, change it back now. And he said, why? I'm making this money. It's helping. They said, that's not the way we do things around here. We have to get approval from X manager, who has to get approval from X manager, who has to have a discussion with this other group of managers, who then has to go and see another group of managers. You know what? My wife got sent a book by her new employer, which says, the more important the decision, the more people you have to talk to about the decision. Do you think that's what Tesla is doing? Do you think they have 77 levels of bureaucracy that mean that they can't make a decision for 6 months? No, that's what legacy auto does. That's what Elon's talking about. In fact, that's what the Chinese are saying. That's why the Chinese are even saying, a lot of them are saying they've copied Tesla intentionally. They have. Even CEOs of Chinese automotive companies have said they've intentionally copied Tesla. Why? Efficiency, right? Tesla is always going on about efficiency. Rivian, you need to work on maximizing your efficiency here, learning the most lessons you can before you try to go to another factory, right? That's what Elon's saying. During the Financial Times interview, Musk said that many EV companies and legacy auto companies might not be quite looking at this the right way. He said, if they're looking at Tesla's success and thinking that being an electric vehicle brand or a company that sells electric vehicles is a way to make lots of money, then that isn't true. Sure, Tesla has a massive market cap right now. Musk is the richest person in the world. But these are only relatively recent developments in Tesla's long, difficult, challenging, and incredibly stressful story. Musk said on Teslarati, Tesla almost went bankrupt so many times I lost count. To start a car company is a mega pain. It is not easy money. It is the furthest thing from easy money that you could possibly imagine. And to be fair, I mean, have a look at PayPal. I mean, you know, it wouldn't have been easy to set that company up. But if you look at the history of that company, if you look at what Elon did before, I mean, that work was really a piece of piss in comparison to starting a company like Tesla that manufactures vehicles. You can see his point, right? And well, Elon made, what, $300 million in his small percentage of the sale of that company. And that was, what, more than 20 years ago. So yeah, I think he makes a good point. If you haven't been following this story, Musk has been saying this time and time again. He said, making cars is very hard to make money. He makes it clear that automotive manufacturing and especially scaling is just ridiculously difficult and also cost intensive. Once many successful legacy brands started to dive into EVs, it became apparent to the public that Musk was probably right. Have a look at all the whining, the bitching and the moaning from Stellantis, the CEO, Carlos Tavares. The guy whines every second week about how they can't make a profit from EVs. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. And there's so many people commenting that are confusing you. Maybe they're not. So many people commenting on message boards and forums, inside EVs, in the comment section, just everywhere, saying it's easy to do. Oh, it's a piece of piss for Toyota and General Motors and Ford. As soon as they want to make EVs, then bang, they're just going to do it. It's just so easy. I mean, all they need to do, the only reason they haven't already done it, I've read this like hundreds of times in the last week. The only reason they haven't done it is just because they don't have the batteries. If they had the batteries, they've got everything worked out. Everything's sorted. It's all, yeah, I'll just stop there. Even the biggest, most experienced global automakers aren't finding it easy at all. Musk went on to say that many EV startups are trying to move too quickly, likely in reference to the suggestions he made to Rivian in the past, though he didn't specify which areas they're going too quickly on. He said it's okay to begin small and to make mistakes early before trying to scale, all while reserving funds to stay afloat and not go bankrupt. Musk compared the actions of some EV startups to jumping in at the deep end and aiming for high volume production before they've even become experienced at manufacturing cars. This is like not practicing your athletic sport and then going to the Olympics. You're not going to win. This is crazy. I'm going to finish with a comment from Immortal Defiant. It's worth you hearing. Where do you think most of the Chinese companies got their business structure? By copying Tesla. Many are not even shy about admitting it. While Western auto companies have mostly dismissed Musk until the last year or so, CEOs like Li Bin say he is one of their heroes. That's humility. Economics is the reason we don't have cheaper electric cars here yet. Tesla correctly started at the high end of the market and is working their way downward. Any other process results in bankruptcy. For example, GM claims they're going to be building a $30,000 electric SUV in 2 years' time en masse using batteries that have nickel and cobalt in them. Is that really economically feasible? I'll just leave that with you. It all really comes down to Wright's law. With every doubling in production, we see predictable cost declines in proportion to the amount of products that are made. The Chinese are able to circumvent that by taking losses on their cheap EVs and being subsidized by the CCP. If anyone even suggests something similar here, they are branded a communist, an anti-capitalist, or something of that type. New batteries and technology chemistries take literally decades to come down in cost to where they make sense for mass deployment. Making a prototype is one thing, mass production is another. Tesla is achieving profit margins 4 times the industry average. They make $10,700 net profit per car sold, compared to only $2,300 for Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen, and Toyota. They produce cars 3 times faster than Volkswagen. Tesla made more net profit in Q1 than Toyota, who sell 10 million cars per year. Yes, Tesla has made mistakes, but being bold enough to try new things has been a strength propelling the company forward. It's innovation that has built Tesla, and it's one of the key reasons, my friends, why their lead simply continues to grow. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, and have a great day. Bye-bye.